know the funk don't always give you what you want, but it'll give you what you need. You know what I'm saying? We never left. Yo, we back. NHFA in your face. Bringing you something good to your ear hole, y'all. Check it out. It's our time to shine. It's our time to grind. It's the phone.
Hey, what's happening? How y'all doing? Welcome to a special edition of Funk from the Front Seat. Today, I have the man, the myth, the legend, one of my favorite people of all time coming to you live. Funk a Drill. You know, we're going to be kicking it hard, talking about some stuff. And yes, we're going to play that very funky thing that he did with Boogie and everybody. Hello out there. Thank you guys for tuning in to Funk from the Front Seat. I'm your host, number 9, right here on IBM.TV. So while y'all hang out for a minute and let's do like we always do, I'm going to bring my man in, Funk a Drill Santiago, and I'm going to bring him into some serious fun. We're going to drop it like this, y'all. Everybody, get your hands up. Come on. Let's roll, y'all. Funk from the Front Seat. You know how we do? Yeah. All around the world for the funk. California's in the house. New York's in the house. North Carolina, Germany, Italy, England, Australia, New Zealand's in the house, New Jersey's in the house, Chicago, Minneapolis, Texas, y'all, Georgia's in the house, the ATL, Staten Island, my home, New York is in the house. Funk a Drill, how you doing, brother? What's up?
Peace.
Yo, man. First of all, thank you so much. And I just want to tell you ahead of time, I've officially adopted you as my big brother. So you have a little brother right here in North Kakalaki, man. You looking good, bro. You looking good, man. How you feeling? How's your family and everybody?
Oh, we're good.
Everybody's good.
Sun shining through on my curtain here. I'm gonna close it real quick.
All right, take your time, man. No rush, man. No rush, brother.
Oh, that's better.
Yo, this is a special treat. I'm in my car, and you know, obviously, so I'm going to be playing around with so you can get a better angle of see what I look like as well, because the sun is moving around. Hey, man, you looking good, man. I'm so happy to finally get you on the screen. I know we have a mutual funk sister, Donna Sneed.
Yes,
you know that I have to definitely say thank you, Donna. She's watching. So, brother, let me tell you something. Mandrill. Composite Truth, just outside of town. Mandrill is Apis High, Mango Meat, Fat City Strut, Fence Walk, Children of the Sun. Let me tell you, you are the man. You are the man. And thank you. Welcome to the show. Funk from the Front Seat, man. First of all, you know, the heart and soul of what you do, spreading peace and love to people, is part of that music that you guys did. And we got a lot to chop it up, man. And you know, we're gonna most def have to, at your convenience, make a part 2, because there's so much that I want to talk to you about on the first, you know. And again, I'm blessed to have you in my life now, and I'm grateful to you, brother. You're a pioneer, veteran, pro school, pocket, and also doing that thing that you do on those drums that nobody else ever done before. So tell me a little bit about when you first, you know, got into this whole music thing as a kid. What was it that drew you to the music scene?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a fair question. Being beat up, and I'll explain. When my father went to Vietnam, we moved off base for the first time, and I moved into public school, which was junior high, and we moved to New Jersey, and that was the time where there was race riots going on.
Right.
You know, black and white were just going at it, and I didn't fit in with either one of them because I wasn't black or white. I was mulatto. I'm everything. You know.
Right.
So I didn't understand why people are fighting. I really didn't get that. So I refused to join the side. So I used to get beat up by both sides. So the one thing that I found that seemed to to stop people from beating me up was to play drums.
Right. Okay.
Because as soon as I started playing drums, I learned the wipeout solo. When I learned the wipeout solo, I used to go to bar mitzvahs and played at bar mitzvahs, and all the little Jewish boys were digging it. All the Latin boys were digging it. Everybody was digging it, you know, blacks, whites. So that I became popular that way. Then I became like the class comedian, you know.
Right. Right.
And then it was all over. My brother had a band, like a top 40 kind of band, and the drummer left his drums at my house, and so I used to get behind him and I just started playing drums. It just happened. It was given to me by God, and and I'm still using it.
Yes, it is, man. You know what? That's so cool because you recognized your gift early on, as so many people do, and you were able to just jump right in with both feet, man. And growing up where we grew up, because I'm from Long Island, New York, Queens, Staten Island.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, back then it was a little different. Ironically, it seems like we're doing some of the same things, but that's another show. But just the fact that you and I can sit here and talk to each other and spiritually share that love with each other as well with the universe speaks to your essence of the drill. I call it the essence of the drill. A lot of people know what I'm talking about, man, because you guys had something really special. And you and I were talking this week, and I told you my first concert was Mandrill. You know what I mean? My very first concert, man, and I'll never forget it. I heard, and I told you this, and I made you laugh. I told you I heard Ape is High, and I lost my mind. I lost my mind because I had never heard anything like that ever, man. And so growing up, you obviously the Latin percussion, Brazilian, African, Cuban mixture of your music brought a lot to Mandrill. And when you first started drumming for them, what was it like? What was that experience like?
It felt comfortable. It felt like that's where I was supposed to be,
It was a natural. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very natural, It was hard. It was hard. I mean, I came on the scene late 72.
Okay.
And so the band was doing really good, but financially the band wasn't doing well. We were getting a $25 a week salary. You know. So you have to love the music. You got a hit record, but still you're kind of in the hole. So I came into the picture on the third album, as you know.
Right.
So yeah, it was a bittersweet situation, but it was beautiful, man. I tell you, the way that we recorded back in the day is these young guys today have no idea what they're doing.
They don't know. Right.
I mean, it's cool to have a computer and Pro Tools and whatever program you want to use. I mean, drum machines are cool. I mean, all of it's good for creative constructing whatever you want to construct. But when it comes to music with people, that's a whole other story. You can't do that with a computer unless you just use Pro Tools like a tape recorder.
Right, right.
But we had a loft on 23rd Street between 7th and 8th Avenue. And I got to give a shout out to all the brothers out there. Rick Wilson, Carlos Wilson, Wilfredo Wilson. Man, I think about you all the time. Claude Coffee Cave, Omar Mesa, Dougie Rodriguez, and Fudgy K. Solomon. He's not with us anymore. Lou Wilson, he's not with us anymore. Rest in peace. But they're still with us musically because that music is going to carry on forever. Long after I'm gone, long before we're all gone, the music will still be here.
It totally lives, brother. It totally lives because, the funk, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later. You guys was into that heavy rock funk thing long before everybody else did it.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to me how you guys just fused all of that stuff together and made it work in such a way to where, fence walk and all the other stuff. It's like when you hear it now and you listen, I even listen to it now, and I'm like, man, how were they pulling that off? And like you said, in the studio recording it, you guys had to record live. There were no, oh, I can go back and push this up a little bit, and I can manipulate this vocal. You know what I mean? It's amazing that that era of music, was such a big part of the world's tapestry of what's going on, man. And so you're in this loft, and you're hanging out with your boys, and you guys are recording. And when you actually went out on tour, the thing that impressed me the most, and you can elaborate, is you guys sounded exactly like the record. You know what I mean?
Well, I think we sounded better than the record because
Well, yeah, no, my thing, yeah.
It was definitely a live thing, that, and every concert wasn't the same.
Right.
The band kind of got bored with playing the same arrangements, so
Mm-hmm.
we just extended everything. So nothing sounded like the record after a while.
Right, right.
When I, now with my Funkadrill band, I kind of brought it back to the record versions that everybody knows,
Right.
But we really took the arrangements. We just jammed out on songs. We were free on stage, and that was a beautiful feeling,
Yeah.
And we scared a lot of people,
Yeah.
Musically, nobody wanted to follow us, so we had to headline,
That's right.
Even if, say like War, like we had this thing that I think we were in Minneapolis, and it's like the audience was waiting at least an hour for one of the bands to come out and come on, and it's like Wars was the headliner, but they didn't want to close the show. They wanted Mandrill to close the show, and it's like, well, if it's going to be that way, let's just let it be that way. Let's not like pick and choose. They go, no. So the first time that they did this, we went on first, and when they came out, now their songs are already kind of slow. That's their vibe, and I love it. But they came out and they even slowed songs down even further, almost to say, we can't even compete with that energy. We're going to go the other way.
Right, we're going the other way. Yeah. Like what you and I listened to your Syncopation, and you and I were talking about this, right? Again, here we are with Funkadrill Santiago, Funk from the Front Seat. I am so blessed to have this beautiful spirit on the show. Here we are, IBM.TV. Thank you guys for tuning in. When you and I were talking this week about Syncopation, where did you kind of develop, besides the gift from God, that syncopated style to put into the music, and put in between everything, man? Because that's hard. What you do is hard.
Yeah. Well, it comes natural to me, but the Wilson brothers taught me a lot. And when I was a child, I used to listen to Gene Krupa a lot, know? And when he went into solos, they were very rhythmic, and he played a lot of his solos in time. So I learned a lot. Wait a minute, it's what's inside of the beat,
Right.
So with the if you want to put a formula to Mandrill's music, here it is. It's sensitivity to each other's parts.
Right.
Because if let's take Fence Walk as an example. You take the bass line and the drum beat, and there's nothing but air in between.
Yeah, man.
And the kick and the snare and the hi-hat. There's so much air in there. He's not picking anything up on the bass. He's not loading it up with all this stuff, and then Omar comes in on that wah-wah, and man, I'm telling you, if you stray beyond that, then you're headed for like a cluttered sound.
Right.
But we had everything breathe. Everybody had their lane and knew what it was. So Syncopation is something that just was a part of our trip. And if you couldn't play like that, like say the first drummer, Charlie, he was uncomfortable because he knew the band was going in a direction that he wasn't particularly that interested in following.
Mm-hmm.
So he like left drums completely and became a director. God bless him, doing really well. He does a lot of HBO stuff. So it took that one extra person to actually bring the Mandrill trip together, and that was the drummer. And while in it, I learned to play all kinds of beats because Buddy Miles was my hero.
Yeah.
Buddy Miles knew how to lay it down. It wasn't on the one like Parliament, because before Parliament there was Funkadelic and Tiki wasn't a one player.
No, that's right. That's right.
It was ridiculous. So when we went on tour, I was so blessed because Funkadelic almost always opened our show. And so we did like months and months together of dates, and so I would fill in for Tiki sometimes, because Tiki couldn't play sometimes, and
right.
I loved it. So it became natural to set my drums up next to Tiki's drums, just in case I was going to jam with the band.
Right.
And I'm just coming really fresh, like 19 years old. So playing one set of music was like, like 60 minutes. That's the Mandrill set. I'm not even working up a sweat, So I'd like to go on and jam with the Funkadelic, and it became really cool, man. Because Tiki's beats are really deep, man.
Oh really? Yeah. I got into Tiki because I'm a funk head, mandrill head, Mother's Finest. Back then, Grand Funk Railroad, Jimi Hendrix, and Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I was at, right? Oh, and America East is Young. When I listened to a lot of stuff on that album, and how, like you said, Tiki was like he was doing some stuff, even with his foot, and like the triplets, but they were so tastefully done. And when you play, and like for instance, Fence Walk, I studied that song for years just to understand what you were doing in it, because you were coming off the hi-hat in this off-time empty space, but it filled up so much space. And we used to listen to it over and over again. My best friend Gary Bordy, shout out, he's the one that turned me on to Apis High. Again, Lost My Mind, was never the same. And that all of that stuff was so syncopated. I was like, my goodness. And growing up with being blessed to hear you guys perform and play and do all the stuff that you did. Again, it was a blessing, man, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you for coming on this show. So tell me some of the recording experiences that you had with Mandrill, as far as laying it in the studio and coming up with the ideas and things. Like, for instance, Fat City Strut, that goes from one mode and then it switches to this whole other thing, right?
Well, now, let me tell you, everybody in the band got a song.
Right.
And so there's 7 guys in the band, there's 7 songs.
Right.
Then we put an 8th song on the album that was a band song.
Right.
Now, Fat City Strut was Claude Coffee Cave's song.
Right.
So that's the way he writes. That's the way he writes. He's got a jazz background, but he's from the Caribbean, and he's Black and Caribbean. And his dad's a doctor, his mother was a nurse, so he comes from a really, really nice background. So he was like, had this melting pot, just like the Wilson brothers did, just like we all did,
right.
We could go anywhere. Any musical genre was comfortable. Nothing was uncomfortable, except I'll tell you what was a little uncomfortable was the fusion stuff for me. Now, Omar Mesa had a song called Golden Stone.
Yes.
And that was on Composite Truth. And I really never got into fusion. I was really into Buddy Miles, Jimi Hendrix, everything else, but I wasn't, the fusion was a new thing that I wasn't a real jazz boat kind of guy, so I was more laying it into like a rock funk kind of groove, So when that came along, there was a different timing, and then it really got chaotic at the end of that song. And so I had to learn it in the studio.
Wow.
And that was a lot of pressure.
Man.
If you hear that song, at the end, it just does stuff that, whoa, you really have to be thinking about, coming down, because when you make a mistake, the band's got to start all over again.
Yeah, man. And tape. They yell at, yep. They always yell at you about, hey, you're wasting tape.
Yeah.
wasted tape. You know, you're
That's a lot of
phenomenal,
fun,
man.
Yeah.
You're phenomenal, man. Let me tell you, you're bringing a smile on my face. This is such a joy for me. You know, it
Yeah.
really, really is, man. So, um, as the band changed and things changed and the business changed, the music
Mm.
game changed, you stayed in the business doing a lot of things. People in the business know, but a lot of fans that might not know, you know, you actually did something with involving Muhammad Ali. Tell us
Mm.
about that, because that to
Oh,
me,
oh.
Ali is like Boomba, the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anybody that worked with Ali, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Well, the composer Michael Masser approached the band, and Michael Masser had already written no, he didn't write Mahogany yet. He wrote The Greatest Gift of All, and that
Right,
was featured in this movie, The Greatest.
right,
So Muhammad Ali wanted to do The Greatest, his movie, and he wanted to play himself in it.
right.
And so they wanted this Black Orpheus kind of sound behind in the background, you
Uh
know.
huh.
So Michael Master came to the band because he thought Mandrill could do it. So we went to Burbank Studios here in California. Uh, Muhammad Ali and his family came, and all the band and their families came, and we made a
Wow.
day of it. Uh, you know, and so we filled the whole studio up with percussion. I mean, there was so much percussion in that room. It was, and you hear it on the recordings because we have a
Uh huh.
whole side of just the jam,
Uh huh.
you know, and so it really turned into a great thing. So we took the loop from the actual fight, Ali Boombaye, Ali Boombaye, and we looped it on a
Wow.
40-inch tape, right? So it was going around like now a sound you could just press a button and it'll loop it for you. But back then we had to put it on tape and loop it, you know.
Right.
So that was our click track. Ali Boombaye, Ali Boombaye, and we're all listening to it, you know. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, boom, boom. And then what am I going to do? I'm going,
Right. Right. Right.
you know. There it goes, there it goes. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, and that was the theme of the song that Michael Masser wrote. So
Wow.
we just took off with the theme, you know?
Right. 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 So
Yeah,
that was a loop off the original chant in the fight.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
wow. Now see, that's
yeah,
deep, because that was again, you know, ahead of his time. You know, as
yeah,
far as how you guys were thinking.
yeah.
Um, I tell you, and this is funny, and I know I'm skipping around a lot, but just hang with me. I was in Harlem, and I was with my older cousins, right? And the first time I heard Fence Walk, like back in Harlem back then, all the local radio stations would have giant speakers outside of their little storefronts, right? And we heard this horn thing that bam 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 bam. It sounded like, I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking they're using automobile honky sound horns, right? And even then, I was astute to this stuff. And then when it came in, I was like, oh my God. I was like, who's that? And it was like, yo, that's Mandrill. And the guy was saying it on the speaker and everything, whatever, right? And I'm thinking to myself, it's blasting the whole block, because everybody on the block was playing it basically at the same time. And that just is a memory that I had. And getting back to the studio stuff, when you got, and I know I jumped around, but I just had to just say that because it was important to tell you how I
Yeah.
connected with you guys.
Well, I got to hit you back on and respond to that though. The horn, you were totally right about that. I mean, we were going for, you know what? It's when you honk your horn,
Right,
get somebody's attention,
right,
right? So we wanted to have that sound to sound like a horn because people's attention needed to be gotten, because
wow,
people need to get off the fence. You know, you have to take a side one way or the other. Just like
yeah,
your screen is split with you on one side and me on one side. You know,
right,
and people are running up that gray part that separates us. You know, and so like in the 70s, we're dealing with, you know, the Vietnam War and all that stuff was just coming, getting ready to end and all that, but it really never ended, and it was just a mess, you know, with the veterans and everything, and so it's not what you say, it's what you do. You know, people talk with their mouths so much and promise so much to you, they can't deliver.
Yeah.
And it causes an artist to get weird when that happens, you know, because you trust people, because you're an artist. You're not a businessman. You're an artist, and you have to be both nowadays. But it's good to wear the artist hat and wear that only and trust people, you know.
Right.
But that's kind of hard to do, you know. You have to have a camp that you can trust, you know. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, no, man. Hey, believe me, here we are hanging out with Funkadrill Santiago, IBM.TV on Funk from the Front Seat. I'm your host, number 9. I love this brother. I have adopted him as my official big brother. It's on record, so that's that. But yeah, man. And again, when I heard that, I was like, okay. And I just want to tell you, one of my songs, Beast Mode, True Funk Soldier, I paid tribute to just that little part. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear the track, you'll know right away. You'll be like, oh, okay. I did. I'll send you the track. I paid tribute to that because it was important to me. And yeah, man. So we got some stuff that we wanted to show. You know, and again, man, you're so gracious. Thank you. We had a clip of you guys, I think EKO. Do you mind if we run that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, man. Yeah, and we're gonna split the screen. My producer Mark back there, Mark, man, behind the glass. I appreciate you, Mark. Love you for that, man. And go ahead and set that clip up. You know, and then we're gonna, cause I was just like, wow, I was blown away. You know, just because of the thump and funk that y'all still got that popping. You know what I mean? Y'all still got that popping, man. And you're the heart and soul of that, brother. Let me tell you, you've made a lot of people smile. You know, your gift, your light shines very bright. It really, really does, man. And we're grateful, you know, as fans, as artists, human beings, you know, we're grateful. We love you, man. We love you. And thank you, Donna. So we're going to pull that up while we're pulling that up. Mark is pulling that up. Oh, here it is right now. Yeah, here we go. Thank you, Mark. And this is in California, right?
No, it's New York.
Oh, New York. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't stop. You got to stay up. Stay up. Stay up.
Woo!
Yeah.
Come on. Sink your feet to the mango guitar. La 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 la. Go on. Nothing sweeter than in a piece sun. La 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 la.
Oh my God.
Hey, got your big mouth rolling, but it's not what you say. It's what you do. Telling folks doing something
That's bad.
don't say you do when I know you don't. Shit on your fist like a snowman. Not what you think is what you be.
Ah,
That was the one.
yeah.
It's high, 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 high. So am I. It's high. Everybody. It's high, high, oh my. So am I. Let's all do it too. Long as your mind is free, you're gonna be what you wanna be.
Yo, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Right?
Get your legs, baby. Come on, everybody. Everybody. Come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right on, everybody. Everybody. Right on. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right on, everybody. Everybody. Right on. Hey, everybody. Are you ready? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, man, let me tell you. Oh my God. You know, first of all,
That woke me up.
yo, let me tell you, bro. Um, Again, thank you. We're hanging out with Funkadrill on Funk from the Front Seat on IBM.TV. Hello to everybody out there tuning. You guys drop it in or whatever. Just drop us a line. Let us know, man. But yo, whew, that's all I can say is woo, because that stuff was so important in the fabric of the 70s, 80s of the music thing, you know. Just some of the artwork and things of that nature drew a lot of black people in. When you're saying "Ride on Everybody," you know, some of the lyrics, "Get It On," just hang loose. You know, a lot of that metaphorically had much, much deeper meanings than the song titles themselves. A lot of us were hip to that. It drew a lot of us in. When you guys were writing a lot of that stuff, obviously you were socially conscious at the time.
Yeah, you're talking about Carlos and Lou Wilson right there. You know,
Right.
any song that has the Wilson brothers name on it, those two are responsible for the writing. Rick was more of a well, Rick contributed, but mainly Carlos was the genius behind a lot of the Wilson brother music.
Right. Yeah, that's amazing, man. Again, you know, it plays such an important part. I believe at that time in America, music, we needed you. We
Yeah.
needed you because you bridged the gap. And you and I were talking about this earlier during the week, and you said you bridged the gap with the funk thing, and a lot of people didn't know that funkadelic connection you had with Tiki Fullwood and actually playing, you know, for them a lot. So, good friend of ours, Donna Sneed, put us together, locked us up. She's been telling me about you for months. I've been trying to, you know, just set it up to where I can actually have time and really speak with you about this. And doing that project with Boogie Munson and Gary Scheider, which a lot of the Funkadelic, y'all don't know about this. Y'all better get up on this. This brother's a producer. He's done so much work with so many other people. And if you don't mind, please, I'm going to ask you now. We're going to have to do a part 2. We got plenty of time left today, but there's so much to talk about with you. You're a walking encyclopedia history of this music business, both inside and out, businessman and musician.
Mm-hmm.
What got you guys together working with Gary and Boogie on that project?
Okay, now I have to mention there's a fourth element to that, and that's George Black.
Okay.
George Black is a good friend of mine, and he's worked on so many records with so many people. He's remixed a lot of Prince's stuff. He's my right hand man now. He's the one singing and playing guitar on with Funkadrill.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So the four of us, the band, Parliament Funkadelic was on tour, and they were ending their Lollapalooza tour here in California.
Okay.
Now, on one of the records, Boogie and his son stayed behind and stayed with me. And that was 1994. And so he says, well, why don't we do something? So we started working on some of this stuff from Neftali Street.
Okay.
You know, and
Yes,
so it's a sample CD I put out of just drum beats, but in the middle of it are some music samples. And me and Boogie just jammed and just put them on there. So somebody wanted to use one of those. It was really like 2% of your writer's royalties, you know. Well, anyway, Snoop got a hold of that CD and he used a music sample he didn't have permission to do, and it wound up working to my advantage. But you know, so what happened was we wanted to reconnect even more. So Scheider was at the hotel, and so Boogie didn't go back to the hotel. He stayed at my house. So Scheider knocked on his door, and he wasn't there. And he said, "Where's Boogie? He's with Neff." And so he got really upset. Like, he got really upset. It was about, it could have been 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. He calls, I want to talk to Nefty. I want to talk to Nefty. man, you got to let me in on this. I'm going, well, there's nothing to be in on. Gary, man, we're just over here jamming. I want to be there. I want to be there. Give me that. So he takes a cab over. Comes over, and man, he puts that Scheider touch on it. That man,
Yeah.
you know, he says, "Look, do you mind if I do something familiar?" And when he said that, what he was saying to me was, sometimes people don't get the credit that they deserve, and he put this stank on it that I smelt somewhere before.
Yeah,
and, you know, and he wanted to hit that same stank that he created. You know, when you stink on something, and that's your scent. You know, when other dogs know that you've been there. You know.
Yep.
So he did that, and vocally he just laid down all these layers. But we really didn't have a track. We had all this beautiful jam, but we didn't have a track. So that was 1994, right? So I think it was 4 years ago. I decided to, you know what, George, what's up with that track? And he's going, I don't know. Let's take a look at it. So he got some of the synthesizers out. He's going, oh man, I know what it is. Let's just go with Boogie. And so we rearranged the whole track. And it came out to be Release the Funk. I wrote the words, and I used that Scheider melody that I'm telling you about. That's so familiar, you know. And Boogie's guitar, man, and then Gary got on guitar, and George did the solo. I'm telling you, Release the Funk. People don't know. They don't know. And that song's been out on the internet for a while. You know, but they still don't know until it goes on vinyl, which will be soon. You know.
Yeah.
It's like only fans have really heard it.
Yeah. We're gonna
hear it now that you're gonna play it.
Yeah, we're gonna play that in a minute. But you know, when Donna told me that was the connection, but she said, yeah, you know, that he's from Mandrill, and I was like, really? You know, because I was into it anyway. You know, I'm just into everything that was ever out there as far as the funk stuff goes, because that's where I live at, man. Like you said, that stank. That's what you got. You got that stank. Like, you know, other dogs sniffing around. They're like, no. It's Funkadrill Nefty stank. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I live in the gutter. I was raised in the gutter. You know? You know, I was, when I heard that, and I heard it on P-Funk Radio. Matter of fact, Keith played it last night. Gabe did a mix on it. And they played it last night. You know, and then I was commenting, because we always comment. I said, yeah, man, I'm going to play that tomorrow too. You know? But that connection, and I know Boogie and Gary, they're gone now, but they live through you and their music. You guys are brothers, you know, that brotherhood, man. Tell me a little bit about that brotherhood.
Man, it's so sad for me to reflect on that, man, because it was any time that P-Funk came to California, Boogie always got on the phone, and I was always there with him. And our connection on the road when we played together, that's when our friendship really bonded. I mean, we're both short, you know. And Boogie said, if you were a woman, man, you'd be my girlfriend, you know. That's not quite what he said, but for radio and TV,
I know. Yeah, no, you good. You good. Yeah, you good.
You know, I mean, that's how close we were, you know. And I saw. I saw, you know, sides of him when I would go to shows. I saw things that I didn't like anymore, because I had moved on with my life and become a Christian, you know, and a minister, and so when I would go to the shows, I didn't like seeing that. I wanted to see Boogie, you know, graduate from that, you know, because he deserved it, you know.
Yeah.
He's a great writer. He's a brilliant player.
Oh man, he play all kinds of instruments, yeah, man.
You know, there's nobody like him. There's nobody like him, and his heart was as big as my head. You know, you know, and so the bond was a musical bond as well as a brotherhood bond. You know, musically we would actually fight a lot. You know, I've got recordings where we're talking about I said, well, show me something that Tiki would play. That like like, that I could like use, to carry on his legacy. Because obviously, Cash Waddy is not playing any kind of tiki beats,
Right.
I think Parliament, well, there really isn't a Parliament Funkadelic now. It's morphed into something different. But when it was Parliament Funkadelic, it was kind of on the one. Everything was on the one, and Jerome was great for that. Are you kidding? Bigfoot, woo! Man, he put that, so that was a whole different breed. I don't know if Tiki would have fit into that picture so well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiki, to me, he was like a funk guy, but he would be doing, he was always on the 16ths and the 8ths all the time. And I thought to myself, that brother's got to have stamina, because to do that, stamina, my God, and you listen to some of that early stuff that they were doing with him there. We used to listen. I was like, man, like I said, America East is Young. It's like there was one track where it's just, you hit the nail on the head. It's gospel, it's rock, it's funk, like you guys, all in the same song.
Yeah.
And Tiki, throughout it all, he was the one, to me, that was kind of telling them when to go, because his roles and his beat would roll them into the next part of the song. He's genius. He doesn't get enough credit, Tiki Forward.
Not enough.
He really doesn't.
None of those guys none of them got enough credit.
Yeah.
And that's obvious. And when you look at the situation now, I mean, that's why Release the Funk is so important for me to put out, because independently, I mean, I just got involved with a situation that a company was interested in picking up the Funkadrill album, but it came down to the same old bull crap, of talk. Nothing, when it comes down to putting down money, people get all scared. They want all your publishing. They want your firstborn, they want everything. They want everything. That's not the way it works anymore. Those days are gone, man. So I wanted to hold on to all the royalties. So when this album does come out, for those 2 songs, all the royalties go to the people that it's supposed to go to. And so Dougie Rodriguez for Mandrill, and you got to have, he's going to be on my show for the first time. He's having an interview. He's never had an interview. He's on 2 Santana albums. He played on Betty Davis albums. He wrote Chicken Fried Steak with Lenny White.
Wow.
He wrote Positive Thing for Mandrill. If it wasn't for Dougie, there'd be no Positive Thing. He's got a stink that's lasting. It's like,
please have him on me. I'd love to have him. Please touch base. Hook us up, man. We'll talk about it, man. So listen, is it okay with you if we run that track, man?
Yeah.
That's banging, bro. Banging. Yo, Mark, my man back there behind the glass, Mr. Mark Lee, one of the best producers out there. Thank you, Mark. Hook us up with that, man. Here we are, Funk from the front seat. I'm in funk heaven, baby. Who's got it better than us, right? We sitting here chilling, talking about, boom, the bang bang. There we go.
Hey, Nap. Hey, Larry. Let's do this.
That's the wrong one. That's all right.
That's the wrong one?
Yeah. Coming back at you. Hey, Bug.
There's one with lyrics.
Gonna hit you in the face. We get ready to take everybody's place. Oh, I promise to
We're making it funky. If funkin' stinks in here. Stand up, funky tears. Let's make that funk up here.
Don't make funky.
Funk on it. Stomp your feet to it. Clap your hands to it.
Listen, y'all. Don't talk about it. Bring out the funk sound. Yep.
Yeah. Bring out the Are you doers of the funk? Yes, we're doers of the funk. Are you lifted by our funk? Make it funky, make it funky, funky, funky. I'll be like a motherfucker. Everybody up in here, if you are Musketeer, throw your hands up. We are here from the north, south, east, and west coast. We're coming fucking 100%. Are you doers of the funk? Yes, we're doers of the funk. Are you lifted by our funk?
We need the funk.
Let it go. It's got you hypnotized. It's got you mesmerized.
Yo, that's my fault if I sent my producer the wrong track. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize for that. But you know what? We can save it for the next segment, and we got plenty of time still left to go. But a lot of times when I'm working, I do stuff at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. But what was the original track that you were saying that you wanted everybody to know about besides that one?
Oh, it has the lyrics on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
but that's But that's the same track, but it's just different.
Same track.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I got you, man. But yeah, man, that music, and I'm listening to it, right? How you fused, and you could hear that mandrill, your drumming influence, mixed in with that funk that they do. That's amazing to the ear. That we know about, like us funk heads. When we hear that stuff, man, let me tell you, it inspires us. It gives us knowledge. You're constantly dropping knowledge, brother. You're like the teachers. You're on the Mount Rushmore of this thing. You know what I mean? Like God made you special. He really did, man. And all the stuff that you've done and the people that you've worked with. Tell us about some of your new projects that Funkadrill is getting ready to embark on, man.
Oh man, Funkadrill is getting ready to go to a. I'm gonna start a TV show.
Okay.
And it's this is my next adventure, because I feel that we're living in times that we really have to be careful on what we're our moves. We have to think about what we're doing. We can't make emotional moves anymore. First of all, I have to pause and say everybody needs to go out and vote. Everybody needs to vote, and more so than ever, your voice is necessary. The last 4 years, when Hillary was running, she thought she was in. 90% of the vote was hers. And then at the last minute, Donald Trump won. Now, I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I'm telling you there's a lot riding on this election.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know? So whoever your candidate is, make sure you're basing your decision off of what he stands for, the bills and everything that he's put through, that everything that he stands for, that it's going to benefit you as a citizen. So don't base everything off of one or two things that might appeal to you from either candidate. Look at the whole picture. Personally, I don't believe in government. I don't trust it. I think something else needs to happen and will down the line. And I'm not talking about any kind of communism or nothing like that. I'm talking about the people actually running the country, for the people. It's what we're supposed to stand for, but the government has always let us down. Always, always, always,
Yeah.
So, I want to start this TV show to give a platform to musicians who have the unsung musician who's like a legend, but nobody knows who he is, and take that legend and put him with younger kids and let him mentor them. Because right now he's sitting at home watching TV, getting fat or getting high or something. He's not being used, and he wants to be used. He's got so much talent that it's just put on the back burner because he don't know what to do with his life. He's old now. What's he going to do? Nobody. He's on all these records and nobody knows who he is. They don't even know his name, So I'm going to let people know who those kind of people are. Also, the shows like we do skits on the music business and life, and we tell stories about people's stories, and there's always live music going on, a live jam on every show, so it's kind of more than one show, so I that's what I'm gearing up for. In the background here, this is a set right here. I'm in the set of the TV show, and we're all set to go live and recorded, all the music live, so we can put it out afterwards, and so it's, and I'm working with a battered women's group, and I produce a TV show for them. Yeah, it's called Illinois Story, which is You Are Not Alone. And it's so important, we're in season 2 right now, and it's a cable TV show that I think they need to be on an international internet kind of broadcast, situation, kind of like what you guys are doing, because their message is so important, and I don't speak much Spanish, and it's a Spanish speaking show, but I tell you, the emotion coming from these women, that does it transcends language, and almost every episode I'm like in tears, because of the stories are so. But these women are like warriors, man. They're like warriors, and so this organization comes alongside these women and lifts them up, and picks them out of their situation and dusts them off and gives them back their power, and and all using Christian principles, and
you know what, brother? let me tell you, anything that I could do personally to help you, plus I want to be on the show, but I'll do it. I'll definitely, mention that. And you welcome to come on this show and bring them as much as you want. Obviously, I want to have you back because we didn't even get to some of the other stuff that you've done, the movie, The Warriors, and all of that stuff. I know about all of that. I followed your history and I've done my homework. I do, you know what I'm saying? I've done my homework, man. I try to be, a professional out here, since I can't perform, at least we can do this and use this platform. And let me tell you something. You're a funk angel. I call people like you, Donna, and Otis Hawk is watching, by the way. He told me to tell you hello. Yeah, he's watching. Yeah. So, you're a funk angel because Bootsy Collins and his wife Peppermint Patty are doing similar things. You're doing similar things. You mentioned battered women. You mentioned, trying to uplift your community with your talent and your skills and your knowledge. And like you said, musicians that people don't even know about. Until Motown came out with that video, nobody knew who the Funk Brothers were. I knew, you knew, but nobody knew them cats. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing, man. What you're doing, God's given you the strength. You are a funk warrior. And anything I could do, you send me something, it's going on my Facebook page. You want me to post something, I got your back. I told you I adopted you. So you ain't gonna get rid of me now. I'm your little brother. You my big brother now. So that's just that. That's just that, man.
So we're launching our first show November 26th.
Got it. Monday.
Yeah.
I think, right? Monday.
Is it?
Yeah, I think the 23rd is Friday.
So it's my anniversary of my mother's birthday, so I wanted to.
That's real cool.
Special date there.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Good. All right. So we'll make sure that I, send it to me, whatever, and it'll go on all my platforms for sure, man. And you guys heard it live right here. Here we are with Funk Royalty, Mount Rushmore royalty, drum royalty, produce royalty. You are royalty in all senses of the word. Legend, veteran in the business, mentor, music teacher and funk angel, man. With Funk of Joe Santiago on Funk from the Front Seat on IBM.TV. We're just hanging out, kicking it, chilling, man. So one thing I wanted to ask you that was important, and I know you're in California, about the fires. Are you safe? Or what's going on with that?
Oh yeah, we're safe. It's just the air is funky, and not a good funk. Yeah, we're safe. It's crazy. It's not a coincidence that all this stuff is happening, folks. I mean, come on, these California fires. We've always had fires, but this is different. It's eerie. If you were here, I mean, all states are going through something.
Right.
We're going through these fires. If you were here, it's like Vietnam. It's when the fires were were totally peaking. There was no sky. The sun was gone. You could see a little blimp up there.
That's surreal.
And then sometimes it would radiate orange. And it would look like a bomb just went off. And it's snowing ashes all the time. You couldn't be out there. It's much better now. But it was really hot yesterday and the wind was blowing. So, I it's hard for me to even put on the TV anymore because it's one thing after another. I try to keep myself focused on Jesus Christ and the things that he has for me and in front of me. And, I try not to bash Trump, or
same. Yep.
But I do have a strong opinion on which way I'm going, but and it's not the opinion that's popular for Christians, but that's why I say examine who these people are. So before you vote for them, just know who
that's very important. Mark said, you're truly an example of, an artist who is also, an advocate and an activist. And thank you, Mark, for posting that because that's very important to you, obviously.
Yeah.
And we need it. You guys are our big brothers and sisters. So we follow what you do. That's why most of us are playing music now is because we heard something that you did and we were like, hey, we want to try to do that as best we can, man. And again, I've been blessed. My dad was a Baptist minister, so I'm a PK. But I strayed, and then I'm back. You know what I'm saying? So I learned. You live and you learn. You know what I mean? You live and you learn. And again, tying the whole thing together, with your music and your faith, how did you first? Well, not how, because it's always been in you, but when you really got serious about your faith, and getting into it, or were you always serious about it?
It's been a process, but over the last, oh my gosh, I guess you don't know. Over the last 4 years, I've seriously been was battling prostate cancer.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
It was stage 4, and I was in hospice. They didn't think I was going to live. They wanted to take my leg off. My faith really grew during that process. I mean, it just blew up. God put me through so many situations that I couldn't handle. He put me in a hospital. He put me in a bed that was hooked up to an alarm, so I couldn't get out of bed. I was at the attention, and the enemy was in front of me. So I had to confront all my demons, my demons, and all the strongholds that were in me. All started coming out, and God was dealing with me one by one, and he even separated me from all my friends and family, and I was in that hospital basically by myself, and him, knowing that he was in control, not me.
Right.
And everything that I was going to go through for a reason.
Right.
And I tell you, I mean, God came to me in that bed, and he came to me years ago and told me he was going to heal me with his blood, one drop at a time. And he certainly did. And when I was in the hospital, they found out that I had cancer, and they're going, wait a minute, this guy doesn't have cancer. And they run so many tests on me, and they proved that the cancer was gone. They put all the x-rays and MRI, CT scans up. I've got a story, brother. And that's why I want to get out there and tell it, because it's not just about music, it's about testimony. What God's doing today. He's performing miracles like he did in the Bible days, and it's not a joke, and it's not a lie, and it's not some kind of sin. I'm living proof that it can happen.
Yep.
Me too. Say, well, my mother or my father was a strong believer and it didn't happen for them. I don't understand how God works in that way. I just know that it happened for me, and that I need to testify.
Yeah. And I'm glad.
And I'm not to hold anything against any kind of somebody that's different from me in any kind of way. I mean, I don't even like saying I have gay friends or lesbian friends, because people are people to me.
That's
I don't put labels on people. I don't think that we're here to do that. I think we're here to love people, and I might not agree with what you agree on, but if we did that, then we'd all be the same, and that would be kind of weird. You know?
Yeah.
So, I can agree to disagree on with you on some things, but I'm going to love you at the end of the day, no matter what, because we're brothers, man. We're brothers. We're all human beings on planet Earth together.
That's right. That's right.
And we better start learning how to work this planet, because we're going to lose it if we don't get a hold of what's going on.
That's
we need to stop this stupid fighting with each other and all this, and just realize that we need to think about going green and making the planet right. Because, well, you know what? You have children?
Yes, I do. I got 2 girls,
so
12 and 16.
It's going to be up to them. And what are we going to leave them when they're our age? Imagine if we're going to go on this way, what's going to be here for them when they're
nothing.
Nothing.
That's right. Nothing. And you said some key things there, man, because I agree. First of all, your spirituality is what drew us together, because my spirituality is like yours. And Mother Earth told us with COVID, listen, I can kick you off the planet. I don't need you. I don't need human beings on my planet. Mother Earth said, listen, I was here before you. I'll be here after you. And all this fighting and silliness and racial tension and hating people because of this and that and whatever, right? All of that stuff is irrelevant, like you said, brother. And thank God we got people like you fighting that fight. I do the best I can to fight it. I'm gonna fight it with you. I'll be right next to you, man. Right shoulder to shoulder, because I believe exactly what you just said. I believe in that strongly. What you're doing is letting people know the truth through the light that God has given you, and He's speaking through you. So it's up to people to absorb it. You lead a horse to water. Oh, you got plenty of time. Go for it. Go for it.
I don't believe in religion. I don't believe in organized religion. It's a snare. It's a snare to control you. My relationship is one-on-one with Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and my Savior. And the book I read is the Bible. And if it's not in there, then you're making it up. All these prosperity preaching, all of that is to control and take your money, you know? And you need to just have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Put your nose in the Word of God. Everything is in there. If you need an explanation, hit me up. But you can't twist what it says.
Right.
It's a literal Bible, and some people try to customize it to their lifestyle, but you can't really do that. You have to take it literal, know, and it's all in there. It's all in there. And that's important. It's important to know where you stand, because that's fence walking again. When
right.
I don't know too many Catholics, but the Catholic religion is kind of cultish if you think about it, because they're worshiping idols, and that's a commandment not to do that. They're confessing to a man, and you're supposed to take that to Jesus. And so there's a lot of stuff the Catholic Church is doing wrong, and I have a lot to say about that. But we'll leave that for another kind of show. But what I'm saying is, open your eyes, people. Jesus Christ is a reality. He's not living behind a pulpit in a church. He's sitting on the right hand of his Father, and his Holy Spirit is here on earth representing him. And that's who we need to get in contact with. You're on social media constantly. Stay in contact with your Lord and Savior every day, like you do your friends and Facebooking people. I got nothing wrong with any kind of platform, but give your Lord and Savior equal time. And when you do that, you'll find that your life is going to change. This whole COVID situation, and everybody's isolated, and don't think that it's over, folks.
No, it's not over.
It's not over. You're going to get ready to go back into whatever isolation you were in before. And what I'm saying is, just know where you stand, because this planet's going to start getting, I don't care who wins the election, it's going to get weird.
Yes, it is.
The election.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So make sure you're safe, your family's safe, and you know where you stand on all the issues, because you're going to be confronted with them.
That's right. It's funny because, and I'm going to send you some music and you'll check it out. You'll understand what we was doing with it, man. Having, obviously you guys listening to all your stuff and being influenced by it. But my producer, Kevin Harrington in Philly, after we did Nappy Head for a while and we were a funk band, but we came up with spiritual funk. You know what I mean? And I'm going to send it to you, man. And I know you're going to dig it, because I actually took verses of my father's sermons and dropped it in my music. You know what I mean? Because the first thing I do in the morning, I get up and pray, and then the last thing I do at night, I pray. And I pray for you, for the world, everything you're talking about. I pray for all of the things that people don't see, that we need to see. Like you and I are sitting here now ministering to each other, and I'm listening and absorbing it, as well as it's going around the world to India. There are people watching us over in Japan and China, wherever, right? We're all connected. Our DNA connects us. We're from the heavens. We're connected. And like you said, big brother, people need to really open their eyes and stop following what we know to be wrong. You know what I mean? Nobody's perfect. By God, Lord knows, I still make my mistakes. But I can absorb the goodness of this planet and try to help others, which is what you're doing. And that's why we're down here. You know, there's a quote: "The purpose of life is to find your gift. The meaning of life is to give it away." You know what I mean? And that's what you do so well, brother. You're an amazing person, man. I'm not going to hold you too long, but I do want you to come back on, and I do want to get more into your show and your shows, as well as the organizations, you know, that we'll save that for next time, that you're involved in, and we're going to get deep into the spiritual realm of this planet, because we are battling. There's demons out there, and you're in the light. Light is even shining on you now, as you confessed and told everyone, you know, Jesus Christ made your body whole again. You know, people kind of know me a little bit. They know I've been through 10 surgeries. You know, everyone that I woke up from, the first thing I said is, "Oh, thank God." You know what I mean? Nothing quite like what you went through, but I done had my share, man. You're an amazing person, man. Funkadrill. So your last words to any young artist out there that's coming up in this business that want to impact it, such as things that you've done. What would you tell them?
I would say to you, first of all, whoever your influences are, don't try to be like them. I mean, take from them, you know, but figure out who you are and what you want to say through your music. So if somebody's influencing you, don't take their character on. Develop your own character. Take the elements that you like from them and mosh them with who you are. And know what it is that you want to say, because you can't just say nothing in your music today. You have to say something. You have to say something that's real. We're living in times that people aren't. You could be funny with it. It could be fun. That's good. People like that. But don't be like, you know, booty clubbing, you know, all that money. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's where they want you to be. That's top 40 radio. That's if you want to be one of those kind of people, there's plenty of them out there. That's not what the planet needs. The planet needs artists that are going to feed the planet. You know, the truth. The truth.
Yes.
You know, in the 70s, we Composite Truth was the name of our album, because the truth is what needs to be told. So whoever you are, whatever kind of music you're writing, make sure you're speaking the truth, whether it's about your personal situation or your friend's situation. Keep it real. That's what I would say.
Yeah. You know what? Those words are so profound. Because when you guys were doing that in 71, 72, 73, your albums were coming out, you were telling people then, Composite Truth, you know, just listen to and look at what we're saying in the music. And thank God I'm alive to actually tell you, man, it was a huge influence, because words and lyrics are important. You know, a lot of the stuff that you say, you know, top 40 and all of that, I get that. You know, I ain't mad at it. But at the same time, you know, my guys, we're always talking about the same thing, brother, that you just told us about, making it real. Feed people something in the music. They have to eat. They're hungry. You know, the buffet is just a buffet. You got to feed people a whole meal. You know, and that's what you guys done. That's what you're still doing.
That's
obviously
malnutrition, bro. That's malnutrition. If you just give them a portion of the meal.
That's right. That's right. You know what? And maybe you and I could do a song about that. Malnutrition. I like that. You know, I'm always thinking of hooks. I'm always thinking outside the box. Always, man. Donna tell you, you know, Otis too. I'll be thinking about something. Like, okay, I'm gonna use that as a song. I'm gonna use that as a song. You know what I'm saying? What you're saying, speaking the truth, brother, is powerful. Those words are worth more than any $1 million contract anyone could get. You guys heard it right here on IBM.TV. I'm hanging out with my big brother, my new big brother, you know, Funkadrill Santiago, and we just chilling. He's got, you know, brand new music, got a new show, getting ready to launch on October 26th. Where can people find your stuff at? We've been running it on the banner, but tell
YouTube,
them.
The Funkadrill YouTube.
Funkadrill YouTube. You guys go there and check it out. Again, this brother has just dropped so much knowledge on everybody. And I know you guys could go back and rerun this show and it's all good. But I just want to personally say thank you. God bless you. You're a funk angel. I'll be calling you in about 10 minutes just to tell you something that I need to tell you because it's important. And please, just stay strong and keep doing what you're doing. You are truly an influence and an inspirational person to a lot of people, especially me. You mean a lot. You mean something in my heart to me. You're very important. And I'm gonna make sure I'm right shoulder to shoulder with you. I got your back. Whatever you need, I got you. All right, brother. Again, here we are on IBM.TV, Funk from the Front Seat. What a fantastic show we had today. We're gonna leave it right here, and we're gonna just kick it a little bit. Usually I start my car and I roll all out and everything, and I kind of just do my ending thing. But I just want to say again, thank you, Funkadrill Santiago, hanging out. Legend, producer, entrepreneur, activist, minister, spiritual funk angel down here in this planet. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, brother. It's been great. I hope you had a good time, and I want to have you back again.
All
Is
right.
that cool? All right, man. I'll be in touch with you, man.
God bless.
And I'm going to leave you with this. Funk from the Front Seat. Right here. We hung out today. It was beautiful. I love everybody out there. If you have a birthday today, happy birthday. If you lost somebody in your family, know that we care and love you. If you're hurt and know that you have nowhere to turn to, you turn to one of us at IBM.TV. If you're being abused, if you're being bullied, call one of us. We don't really roll like that. We need everybody. Wear your mask. Get your hand sanitizer. Like Funkadrill said, it's not over yet. Follow your spirit and your inner heart. Find peace within. Peace is important. All right, brother. I'm out. I'll be up with you. Peace. Funk from the Front Seat. I hope y'all had a good time today. I'm getting ready to go out like this. All around the world. Japan, China, Asia, Russia, Australia, Germany, England, Canada, South America, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Argentina. We love you, United States. Woo! It's hot. Yeah, baby. Woo! Stay woke. Staying healthy ain't no joke. Funkadrill. Check them out, y'all. You do. Woo! There you go, brother. Love you, man. I'm out of here, man. I'll be calling you, man, and we're going to chat about some stuff. All right, brother. Okay. I'm out. Funk from the Front Seat. Live, IBM.TV. I'm your host, number 9. Our guest today was Funkadrill. Check him out. I'm out. See y'all later. Bye.